Side 1 began with this album's longest song, and now Side 2 begins with its shortest, Let's Tango in Paris. It starts off rather peaceful, if not somewhat dazzling, with that classical inspired synthesizer by Dave Greenfield, as Hugh Cornwell sings just as calm and slowly about the sentimental night, sharing secret candlelight, and laughing away every day. Sounds like a mostly normal routine for Pinkie Pie, minus all the fairy cakes and all sorts of high sugary foods, and all the party streamers and confetti and stuff. Then, soon after a while, over a minute in, the music and mood notably changes from a slow and solemn rhythm and a bit of a synth-centric waltz to a somewhat guitar-centric new wave-ish waltz as Hugh repeats the title of Let's Tango in Paris. Even though, upon a little bit of research, the classic tango dance didn't originate in France or anywhere like that, but rather in Rio de Plata, which is bordered between Uruguay and Argentina. So, would that be like naming a song Let's Conga in Madrid? Then the music trails back into that calm, whirling mood as Hugh sings the second verse about how you might find yourself with me, as in him, sharing your glass of vanity. Is this vanity drink sugar-free or even alcohol-free? Just want to be sure. And then we go back into the same title-only chorus, as TV tropes would put it. Again, this song could be regarded or even brushed off as a bit of filler on the album, but I still think it's okay. I think it might even be a good choice of music to do a little partner dance to while in Paris or anywhere nice. Next up is Paradise. They've been spending most of their lives living in a pastime paradise, or a gangster's paradise, or an Amish paradise. We get a bit of a twisted tropical tone in this one, as the bassist Jean-Jacques J.J. Bennell, who also sang in European Female, forgive me for my mistake there, I got the two vocalists mixed up, as he sings in a rather high octave about searching for a paradise, that they said it would be good for his head. He's in desperate need of paradise paracetamol. But instead, she took him by the head. She must have dragged him out of the pharmacy by pulling his hair. Backing vocalists Anna von Stern and Franz Lemit, again apologies if I butchered that last name wrong, sing the chorus here, mentioning Paris and London. Are they going to do a tango in London too? Glamour and despair, and they were ruined over there. Yep, they were played like a symphony, played until their fingers bleed. They're the greatest masterpiece. They ruined me. And they were ruined over there. And over there has to stand up for itself. And when you think you're in paradise, but then you find your arms are tied, Caprive in the name of paradise, and the chains are all her lies. So what I'm getting from the second chorus is that JJ found his way to the paradise islands of Themyscira, only to get tied and held captive by Wonder Woman in a lasso of truth. I'm sure one of them would have a thing for bondage. The picture on the screen is moving still, moving all the time. What he doesn't realize, however, is that it's actually a GIF. If only you could freeze frame a moment, there you could have a paradise all the time. A paradise where everyone would be stuck frozen still in place, forced to live in endless agony because you, paused time just to relive some nostalgic memory. I see nothing problematic about this whatsoever. Actually, the song seems more or less about the themes of manipulation. Not just manipulation from a femme fatale, but also believing in a dream of utopia. Even such would have to be achieved through questionable and even unethical means. The last line especially highlights this, saying, "I don't think anyone ever found paradise because paradise is based on lies." Everyone has their own ideas of a paradise, a utopia, but even when you get down to it, there may be uncertain implications beneath the surface, and a lot of it can be a result of deception, whether or not we even have liberty and free will, or at least given such at all. So, could the Stranglers be the first ones to come up with the red pill? Makes you think, don't it? Then we have "All Roads Lead to Rome." Then how come any road that I go on always ends up leading to Helsinki? Anyway, this song has a more of a proactive beat, while Hugh sings with a dark, dry tone, as usual, about the streets of tarmac and steel fingers clawing at the sky. Peasants and their peasant smells, hungry enough to touch your face. I don't think that's how you eat your food, although hungry enough to touch your face still does sound a bit creepy the more I think about it. The beasts from the end of the century adorn themselves with jewelry, and they are looking pretty fabulous. You can tell Dave Greenfield was having a bit of fun with some of the keyboards in this one, especially in the middle bit where he plays with a little bit of a solo for about half a minute before Hugh sings one last verse and chorus. Then he repeats the song title for a bit before the song closes. Once again, it may not be the first song I'll think of and start humming, but it's still fine to me. Not a whole lot to say about this one, to be perfectly honest. Not a bad song, it's passable. After that is Blue Sister. Definitely one of the Stranglers' more underrated songs in my opinion, which, again, may or may not say a lot. With its moody yet proactive keyboards, Dave Greenfield was really at his A game here. The intro alone is quite ominous and atmospheric, almost like an 80s futuristic noir thriller. Then Hugh sings about the titular Blue Sister, whom I guess either joined the Blue Man Group or is actually part Na'vi. Take a pick. Telling her to not cry and dry her tears. Her lover has been taken away by some friends that he met in the night. Although I'm pretty sure the reason she's upset is that they didn't even bother to invite her along. I mean, you would be pretty upset and bummed out too if that happened with you. In the second verse, he comments that her eyes have been shouldering pain and the tears show emotion so pure. But he later assures in the third verse that she'll survive and that her man is her inner drive, and he tells her to not drive him away if she wants him here staying alive. So it's implying that whatever she did or said, it made her lover want to go away for a while and spend more time with his friends instead. In the chorus, Hugh brings up how that scene's not a new one to his Blue Sister, that she had seen it a million times too, and he lets her know that he cares about her. So at least he's a kind, caring, and compassionate brother. Or at least I hope he is. It's quite a unique song in that I can hardly think of any other like it. Even a few other Strangler songs of the time. Jack Black's drums, JJ's bass, and Hugh's own guitar only complement the dominating electronic keyboards. It's what I might call synth goth, if even that's a fitting description. And so our album ends with the oddly, fittingly titled Never Say Goodbye, as what sounds like a harpsichord along with a piano starts us off before the other conventional instruments take over again. J.J. Burnell's bass is definitely audible here, as is that strumming Spanish-sounding guitar, while Hugh asks his friends of the night and day why did they leave in such a hurry and that they left us juggling our worries. Thing is, though, they needed to take a quick toilet break, so they had to leave you to do all the juggling tricks rather awkwardly in front of an audience. And in the chorus, he says to never say goodbye, assuring that we'll all be with you someday. Then he says, fond adieu, which is actually French, meaning literally fond farewell. So he didn't say goodbye in English. He just said it in another language, and that's fine. Like lovers in the past, they swim and surface in our memories. Not quite Olympic swimmers, but they do come close. I sure as hell remember them. Questions never asked. I'll save them for the next century. Questions like what Lex Luthor's urine looks like, or why do they call it ducking if actual ducks may not be able to duck? It may not be as much an ender to a Stranglers album like, say, La Folie and its ending title song, but Never Say Goodbye, at least lyric-wise, seems fittingly enough as it reaches the end of the record while telling us that the band won't be going away anytime soon. They'll still carry on and continue to make good music, which they would most certainly do, because this album is actually pretty decent, if not okay. There are a few notable highlights here. European Female and Blue Sister do definitely come to mind, but I can kind of see how this might be seen as the beginning of a decline in popularity for the Stranglers. Not that the music here is any different from any of their albums prior at all, but rather that there may not be much to help it stand out from the crowd. Maybe the post-punk new wave bubble was already starting to burst a bit by 1983. Maybe people were already moving on to other kinds of music genres in that era. Who knows? But all that said though, this is by no means a bad album in any way. It's produced fine, it has good quality, and it does mostly seem to have a consistent theme and style. The Spanish influence runs quite a bit through some of the songs in the track list, as does its themes of seduction, manipulation, exploitation, and femininity. It's a simple and minimalist album. The big black cat on its cover personifies the music and themes in general. Feline is a felicitous album. But those are my thoughts. So what are yours? Do you think this is an underrated gem of an album that deserves better exposure and appreciation? Or do you think it plays a little bit too safe for the liking and doesn't do much to make itself unique? And what would be your favourite Stranglers album and song? Let me know down below in the comments. Next time, we get a little kick inside as we look at Kate Bush's debut album. Hey Noise Boy, how's it going? Doing cool, man. Ooh, literally cool in here. You know, when I heard you were reviewing the Stranglers and AC/DC again, I thought you were gonna do their best albums, like Stiff Upper Lip, Black Ice, Norfolk Coast, and Sweet 16. I figured you would request me those, of course, but rest assured, I will get into those someday. Maybe one of them later this year, perhaps. So why are we here again? Well, while Maze is out there gathering up some crew of swords before heading out to find that Noah kaiju, I figured we may try to lay low and keep our heads down for the time being, at least until we get the call to arms. If we even get one at all. What's the matter, dude? You're looking a little robotronic. Well, from what I heard, that Gablor geezer has already begun his invasion of this Earth, this universe, our Earth, with his big alliance of fictional evils. And he's already started on various cities across the mid and northeast of the Americas and Canada. Cities like New York City, Trenton, Chicago, Newark, Toronto, maybe possibly even a few more like Detroit and Philadelphia. Whoa. Sounds heavy. Yeah, I know. Way beyond heavy, mate. And chances are pretty high that, depending on trajectory, he could very well lead some of his armies towards Europe, which includes Britain. I think we might have underestimated Gablor. And I have a feeling Space Anorak and his puppet master Caesar or whoever may have as well. Or worse yet, they could take this as an opportunity to invade here with her alliance of obscure fictitious villains that even Gablor wouldn't even consider. Wait, that big Jack guy who reviews all those Kong movies and stuff, doesn't he have like special contact with like several various other movie reviewers and critics and the like, and even heroes from like other universes? Yeah, he does. I just wish I could offer help as well. Unless we may happen to know some heroes across the multiverse as well. And maybe even a way to contact them too. You really think we can do that? I really hope so. I really do. I might have an idea.